Hey, yo.
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
Your mic is muted. Oh shit, my shit not plugged in.
Have I been muted this whole time, or did it just do that? Hold on.
Nah, you've been muted the whole time.
I've been muted the entire time?
Yeah.
Motherfuckers. All right, well, what's going on, everybody? All Pro JAFFOs, highly elevated sports talk for the highly elevated sports fan. I'm your host, JP, with Country K, the 6'10 beast from the southeast. Packed show for you today.
Oh.
What?
What?
What happened?
Editing video.
Nothing? Wait.
What do you mean? I'm editing video.
Great start to the show so far today.
What happened? Well, why did you stop?
We got a packed show for you today.
Why did you stop talking?
Got the NFL preseason week recap coming at 7:30 hour. We've got what many consider the greatest quarterback in the history of the A7FL, Quattrell Huffin, joining us at 7:30. Michael Orr story is getting pretty freaking crazy. The NBA, or the Naismith Memorial Hall of Fame, or Basketball Hall of Fame, class of 2023 has been named, and our featured artist of the day later on in the show. But let's get started with the NFL recap, because yes, NFL football is back, but it's preseason, so yes, people are excited to watch football, but they're not really getting the top quality football that you're probably going to see during the regular season. But to start out, if my goddamn computer, there we go. All right. Started off on Thursday. It was the Texans taking on the Patriots. The Texans went and won 20-9. Looks like here. Looks like Stroud had some struggles. Davis Mills led the Texans with 99 yards and a touchdown. Let's see what else here. Not much really to talk about in that game, other than CJ Stroud struggled a little bit, but again, it's preseason. Not real much to kind of go by in terms of what's going to actually happen. Next game after that was the Vikings and the Seahawks. Seahawks went ahead and took that win, 24-13. Drew Lock for Seattle going in there, 191 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an INT. Let's see what else is here. Well, yeah. Again, because preseason's not really all that crazy. Hey, Kay, have you heard or seen anything that's the last few or is there anything from these preseason games that you can see that'll translate to you going, okay, this team might be actually worth the shit in the regular season?
Not yet. I mean, we're not at that point. If I'm not mistaken, it's supposed to be 3 preseason games. So yeah, I would say the 3rd preseason game we probably get a decent look of guys.
You think that's when they'll do the dress rehearsal, or do you think they'll do it week 2? Because they used to do it week 3 when there were 4 weeks of preseason. They did that dress
pretty sure they're
rehearsal
gonna
where
do it
the
week
first team
2.
would play the first half, and then
Right. I think it probably. Honestly, I don't think, because every team's different. I feel like my Bucks it's gonna be a week 3 situation where they going all the way to week 3. They're competing all the way to week 3. But I mean, other teams, they might not have that situation. Like the Jets, for instance, they probably just do week 2. dress rehearsal, and then because they know Aaron started. But as far as getting reps, they need those reps. So
The Packers went and took on the Bengals and they won 36-19. Jordan Love was actually um not playing too bad. He had some pretty decent throws. I did see a post earlier, I forgot who it was by. It said, "Oh, Jordan Love throws a perfect ball. Had he had a better receiver, it probably would have been caught." And I looked at the pass and I'm like, he threw it into double coverage. And he was lucky that the safety didn't pick it off. That's not a perfect ball by any stretch. So obviously, certain fan bases and stuff have their delusions, and most fan bases have that certain section that even the regular fan base is tired of. Um, we can kind of use my squad as an example, Dallas Cowboys squads to be used as an example. Raider Nation, all that kind of thing, the delusional people in the NFL. Because after preseason games, you're already seeing it. You're already starting to see everybody going like, oh, this is going to be our year, that kind of crap. The Lions beat the Giants in the preseason 21-16, and Lions fans are calling for fucking a deep playoff run already. The Falcons beat the Dolphins 19-3. Let's see. Steelers beat the Bucks 27-17. Let's see. The Commanders 17-15 against the Browns. Cardinals won 18-17. Russell throws touchdown pass before Cardinals mount a comeback to beat the Broncos. That's going to be the story of the year for them. Bills beat the Colts. Bears beat the Titans. The Jets.
what makes you think the Broncos are going to be bad?
What makes me think the Broncos are going to be bad? I don't want to say that they're going to be bad as in they're going to be like ass.
Well, the Cardinals are shooing for the number one pick next season. So you just said this, the story for the franchise, well, for the story for their season for the Broncos.
I'm saying it's more going to be that situation where in those certain types of moments, things are just not going to go their way.
What makes you think that?
I don't know. It doesn't have anything to do with what I'm seeing on the field or what it just. There's a part of me that looks at the Denver Broncos and thinks there's something about this team that on paper you can look at them and go, man, they're kind of stacked. They have, pretty decent players. Their receiving core is all right. Russell Wilson is, this all-timer in a lot of people's minds. They got Sean Payton now as the coach, who's come out and, straight up said, we're not doing how this shit was last year. This thing was run like a shit show the entire time. Why would we want to do that again? So all signs are pointing to the right direction. But I can't put my finger on it. I don't know what it is, but something is telling me that it's all smoke and mirrors. There's something that we're not seeing that's happening with this team that tells me they're going to have a whole hell of a lot of close games this season, and they're going to be on the losing end of a lot of them. Now, I'm not saying they're going to be like, I don't think they're going to have less than 4 wins. I feel like they might have 5, maybe 6. But a lot of those losses that they're going to have are going to be due to some sort of, fuckery that happens in the NFL. Either a comeback win, some sort of mistake that screws them over, a coaching mistake, an unforeseen coaching mistake that may screw them over, whatever it may be. There's something about this team that just tells me there's going to be things that they're just not going to go their way. This year is not the year. Maybe one more year, get a couple more added pieces to the puzzle. You can maybe start having that conversation. But right now, it's too much of a what if situation for me.
All
That's
right,
just me.
here's where I completely disagree. They had a top 5 defense last season, and they had a shit head coach. They have a coach that won a Super Bowl and a really good head coach. Well, couple in different positions, and he played. I mean, he pretty much solidified his Hall of Fame status with another 5'9" quarterback, and he has one that can move now. I highly doubt that that's going to be the case. All of that fuckery you're saying is kind of based off of last year when they had a head coach that didn't know what the fuck he was doing. You got a guy that know what the fuck he's doing. He writes the shit. All of that minor bullshit gets thrown out of the window. Like, none of that happens when you have the right captain running the shit.
No,
like, they don't
I
have those problems
understand
with
that,
Andy Reid.
and I'm not basing any of what I'm saying off of last year. I just want to make that clear. I'm basing it off what I'm seeing now through press conferences, through OTAs, through everything. I can't put my finger on it, and I'm probably going to be wrong, which again, definitely, has been the first time I've been proven wrong, nor will it be the last. But there's just something about this team as I see them right now. I don't see the playoff run contending against the Chiefs in the division type of look that people are having. I don't see it. I maybe I'm having a hard time seeing it compared to anybody else, but what are you seeing that I'm not seeing?
Well, good receivers, decent running back, decent tight end, good head coach, good quarterback, under a shit system last season. So a lot of that, he came in hot. He came in thinking that he was going to do something, and he didn't. So it kind of like he had to humble himself. So a lot of that shit made him humble himself, and it made him go to work. So he came back in shape, got a new head coach that's ready to prove, or a new head coach to that team that's ready to prove himself. Yeah, this is a different situation. Like I said, top defense. Sean Payton, he does really well when he has a really good defense, bro. I played him a lot of years. Well, I didn't play him. I watched them play a lot of years against each other. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I promise you, they're finna be amazing up there, and people are not gonna give him credit because now everybody's gonna start jumping on Russell Wilson, saying how good he is and all this stuff, and oh my God, he's a comeback player of the year and all of that kind of crap. He's gonna win crap like that.
Russell Wilson's really the one who's on the hot seat because with everything that they're saying with Sean Payton and the coaching, if Russell Wilson doesn't perform, then yeah, he's on the hot seat, I think.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think that's gonna be the case. Like, that's really it. Like, it was proven that Nathaniel Hackett wasn't ready to be a head coach. Like, if you're going to sit here and call it like that, that's what it is.
No, I mean, and again, that's fine. Again, you're probably right throughout this whole thing. I'm just, stating it that as I'm seeing, there's just something about the team that I feel like there's going to be a lot of games where it's really close and just they're going to be on the losing end of a lot of them. And there are good teams out there, and there have been good teams out there who have had that type of luck. The Chargers are a team that have actually made a legacy in their franchise off of doing that same type of shit. Being able to put up points, being able to be, electrifying on the scoreboard and stuff like that. But when it comes down to it, they're not getting in the wins. So that's what I'm saying. There have been teams that, despite the record, are actually better than what the record says. And I think the Denver Broncos are that type of team. Just right now, how I see it. That perception can completely change down the line, but right now, I'm not sold on Broncos country right now. I'm not. It's just I don't see anything that's really changing my mind. Like, yes, they have Sean Payton, and they have a pretty decent nucleus to work with, but there's still certain pieces that are not in place. Didn't they get rid of Chubb? They don't have Chubb anymore, right? The defensive end? Didn't they get rid of him on defense? And he was a main part of the reason why that defense was any good last year? Like,
Who was the name you said again?
Bradley Chubb.
I mean, yeah, I guess I'm not really sure on that. I know. I gotta look up this shit. I mean, I guess. I mean, honestly, I just say as a unit, they play really well.
No,
they play really well as a unit. So that, I mean, individualizing things don't really matter. If all of those guys are still back, they should be able to pick up where they left off.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, where you're saying I'm basing it too much off of what happened last season, you're kind of doing the same thing but a different argument. But you're basing
most of those guys are young.
You're basing the successes off of what they had last season, where I'm looking at basing the failures off of last season. You're looking at what they can build off of and get better. You can say
it that way. I'm saying that these guys are young and everybody's going to take a step with a good head coach and good tutelage. It not necessarily have to be
you're looking at the progression side of the whole thing.
No, that's not what's happening. I'm telling you, with a good head coach, no matter what your success was the year before, you're going to move forward. Simple and plain. They have a good head coach. It has nothing to do with last year. They're just going to take a step forward, just using last year as a barometer. I'm not really using it as like, oh, that's the reason why I'm saying. I'm just saying to put that in to perspective, like,
you can only go up from here type of
thing. That's it. Like, I really believe they're just gonna play really well with Sean Payton.
And I'm sure everybody in Denver hopes the same thing. Jets beat the Panthers 27-0. Jaguars beat the Cowboys 28-3. I mean, nobody in the look. Micah Parsons must hate everybody on the offense then, because he's getting in more altercations in Cowboys camp than any other player on the team. Still, nobody respects Dak, and I don't. And this is another thing where you look at the Cowboys and it's like, ooh, this is going to be like an implosion type of season. Just nothing's going to go right for them, whatsoever. This is what that could turn into. People are going to want to leave. People are going to want to get traded. It's going to be a whole sort of shitstorm out there in Arlington, Texas. The Eagles lost to the Ravens. What we got?
Yeah, because they have nobody to blame. That's not Dak now. Like, they always blame Zeke. Can't blame Tony Pollard. Everybody know what he brings to the table. So, at this point, it's especially if Zeke goes to the Patriots and play really well, which I think he
signed the deal. He's there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if he plays really well at the Patriots, which I believe he will, it's gonna definitely be on Dak. Like, everybody gonna be looking at you like, well, you definitely were the problem, which I said he was the whole time. So
even Madstick said he was the whole time.
I don't get what the issue is. They should have let him go. I wouldn't even gave him all that bread. They were like, oh, we're gonna risk losing him and all that. I'm like, all right, put in DiNucci. Put in Cooper Kupp. Why
not DiNucci? Come on, DiNucci would be great.
Put in Cooper Rush. Let him just finish the shit. You know what I mean? Like I would have did that, and then just took my chances on the draft. The Cowboys could have had Bryce Young right now, or they could have had, you know what I mean? They could have had somebody.
Or they should have just had one of those tanks. They still can technically coming for next season.
Oh, not really.
Caleb Williams and stuff coming out.
Nah, they still. You got a couple more years you got to go through with Dak.
Tough. Chargers beat the Rams. Saints beat the Chiefs. Niners got the shit kicked out of them by the Raiders. Which
I predicted.
I mean, am I surprised? Not at all, one bit, honestly. Yeah, there's really not much to go on. But I mean, I looked at the highlights. I didn't even watch the game really, but I looked at the highlights and stuff, and I'm just. I mean, there wasn't anything that I can really take from the game and go, "Oh shit," you know. This is the one right here. Like this is the point in time right here where we're gonna notice that this team's gonna be the best. And like no. And honestly, Raiders fans shouldn't get their hopes up for anything either. They should be trying to get their hopes up for Mr. O'Connell over there. Taking over the QB position. That's what they should be paying attention to, but it is what it is. But 34-7, take an ass whooping, go home. You're not playing with the ones or anything else like that, so it's just kind of is what it is. Your rookies and all that other type of stuff, they take their ass kicking, and that's it. You move on. So we'll see what happens. That was a Sunday night game too. That was the last game of the season, or last game of the week one.
Have you seen any rookies on your team that you like pretty much? I mean, not pretty much so far.
Rookies,
As we got one, his name Yaya, played DN. That boy a dog. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. His first name, Yaya. That boy nice as hell. I think we got him in the third or fourth. Nice as shit.
Us is just there's not really much that I mean the secondary was looking a little bit better.
Oh man.
Like the promise and stuff like that. I mean that aspect of the whole thing was looking a little bit better. But like again, there's really not at all much to be able to kind of talk about or do.
About 27.
Dub puts out Ronnie Bell look. I mean, yeah, they look good. Everyone has their moments. Everyone has their whole thing. But there's just too many questions for me right now. That was one of the things, especially with the DBs. Like they looked a little bit better, but it's week one of the preseason. We're not going to get much out of this, so far. Week 2, week 3, maybe we'll start to see a little bit more. But the real bread and butter and how everything turns out is come week 1 of the regular season. When week 1 hits, whatever you look like, that's what I'm going to go off of. If the team looks like absolute shit, which I think no matter what happens, Mr. Country K here will more than be happy to say, win or loss on the scoreboard.
What?
But, I mean...
I'm happy to say what?
What?
I mean, what am I happy to say?
Win or lose, you were going to say the 49ers suck.
Well, no, I'm saying you guys suck because your head coach is a choke artist. Like you keep making it seem like I'm just hating on your team without facts. That's a fact. Y'all got a head coach that choked off a Super Bowl right after he choked off a Super Bowl. Then thought he was going to take you to the promised land. He took you to the Super Bowl, up 10 points, and then choked that bitch off too. What do you think was going to happen? Kept going to the NFC Championship and kept choking that bitch off. Like, all I'm doing is speaking facts. That's not hate. Like, you keep trying to package it like I'm hating on y'all team. No, even when y'all were good and y'all went to the bowl, I said I like Raheem Mostert. Y'all had good players. I like Debo. Debo's a good player. Problem is, he's not a wide receiver. He's not a number one. I don't care what nobody say. That man is a glorified tight end running back. He is the real deal flex. He's a flex guy. Like, y'all got him at receiver because he's faster than most of the other guys on the team outside of Christian McCaffrey, but you might have got a young guy that's fast, but like, come on, Debo ain't burning nobody. Debo's strong. Debo ain't burning nobody. Debo ain't burning
I'm gonna
nobody.
find the
Debo's
tape and send
strong.
it
He'll
to you.
catch
Him
somebody
outrunning people, him running
outrunning.
people over.
Come on. Just because he's scoring don't mean he's outrunning somebody. That man could just have a good angle, or he could just start running before somebody. Or somebody got blocked. Or a guy could be slow, but real deal, Debo ain't fast. He ain't a fast receiver. Like, that man is not. Like, oh, you keep fooling yourself if you want to. Debo is not a fast guy. Like, compared to receivers that's in the league that's fast, I wouldn't dare say Mike Evans fast. I wouldn't dare say Chris Godwin fast. Like, I wouldn't do that. Like, I'll just say they top guys. I know what their roles are. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and just be unbiased like that. Like I said, Tyreek Hill, fast as fuck. Fast as fuck. That's just what it is. But Debo ain't burning nobody. Simple and plain.
I mean, kind of makes a point. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of makes a point. Defensive line for us looks pretty good. The linebacking core, again, for the defense, the linebacking core and the defensive line, for me, were never the problem. It was the secondary. Now, Hufanga, that's great. Let's build on that. Let's add some more people to that. Let's have people stay healthy. Ward needs to stay healthy. Gibson needs to stay healthy. He's kind of hitting that, old man getting ready to step away from the game soon style guy. But we have a couple of rookies and a couple of guys here that are good. They've shown promise, but we'll see how it goes. Shit. Hold on 1 second. Let me respond.
I wonder how Trent Richardson feels. He probably feel amazing, you know what I'm saying, going to the Niners and playing on the team that, air quotes, good.
Hold on. What?
I mean, Trent Williams. Because he left the Washington now Commanders just to play 2 more games every year and not win shit. You want 2 more games, my boy. That was it.
I mean, won way more games after that, though.
I mean, I'm saying on a per year average, you're only playing 2 more games than the Washington Commanders. Congratulations. Then you're back at the couch when the Super Bowl's time. You back at the house just like them boys.
He's still considered by pretty much everybody, especially all the peers, to be the best tackle in the league right now. So
I feel you. I didn't say nothing about his ability or talent.
I think he's liking the decision of getting the fuck out of that goddamn
Hey, I guess.
shitstorm that was Washington.
Hey, look. Sometimes you don't know you're in a hurricane. You know what I mean? You think you just having a cloudy day. You actually in the eye of a hurricane, you goddamn self. You see what I'm saying? Thinking everything cool, copacetic, and calm. The storm just ain't come yet. That's all it is. You finna go play these games and think y'all good, and then don't win shit. And then y'all always trying to point the finger at something else other than your head coach. Like, that shit crazy. But Big Bank's finna do his thing this year, so.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You ref
Yeah.
shit.
No.
Shit. Like I said, that's hatred. You see what I'm saying? Now that's hatred. Like, they ain't got nothing to do about ability. They ain't got
I'm
nothing to do
sorry.
about talent.
I can ask anybody, literally anybody but you, and we can actually have people make the same statement that Baker Mayfield
You ref shit.
is not going to be able to do shit for the Buccaneers.
Yep,
He's not going to help you guys win any more
because
games.
of what they're talking about. They talking about Odell's
No, just
legacy.
because of just
No, because the first thing they're gonna say is he had Odell and he had Jarvis. They had an old ass Jarvis that was hurt all the time, and you had an Odell that was hurt. Okay,
like
congratulations. What you made that man to do?
It's
as soon as
not,
Odell started getting going, the man get
work.
hurt. I guess I hear you.
I love how
Like
you
I
really
said, the man ain't had receivers like he got now.
It's not gonna happen.
Hey, look, I hear you, but he ain't had receivers like he had now. Odell was hurt, and Jarvis was always hurt. So I'm not finna sit here and make it seem like. So
you're gonna be saying this.
Odell's
right
a
at
better
the end
receiver
of the season, because you're gonna
Is a
look
better
at
receiver,
it going,
but he was
at
hurt.
best, you're gonna have a first round playoff loss, and
That's what
Mike
you hope.
Evans is his streak of 1,000-yard season is gonna end this year.
He had lesser tier quarterbacks get him 1,000 yards, so I highly doubt that's gonna be the case.
All right, well,
So yeah, that's all slander. That's what I keep saying. It's like,
that's a prediction.
yeah, another one is the man fucking won 11 games and went to a playoff game when he had a good coach.
Relied on a running back or two running backs actually to get him
But
there.
he could have definitely threw the game away.
He did on a couple of
According to the
occasions.
Niners, Jimmy Garoppolo did that. I mean, I'm talking about on the playoff run. They could have not made the playoffs because of Baker, but that's not the case.
No, they rode
the year after that playoff run, he got hurt. What you want
when
me
it
to do?
came down to Baker Mayfield having to make the big plays to get down the field and stuff in the playoffs against the Chiefs, he fucking choked.
The Kansas City Chiefs. All right.
I don't give a crap about who it is they played. You get to that point, you either win or you go home. They fucking went home.
I hope that same sentiment is presented to your Niners, because it don't seem like it is. Although it don't seem like it is.
Oh, what? I not agreed with you that Kyle Shanahan has made the biggest coaching blunders in the worst possible moments of the biggest possible games? No, I do not disagree with you. I never disagree with you on that point, because it's always happened.
Yeah, but you got a lot of delusion on
actually
thinking
the
that
first
you
one
even
to
got
say
a
it after
team.
the first Super Bowl loss that Kyle Shanahan fucked up with that one.
You have a team of guys that's just a shitload, like just athletes. You just got a shitload of athletes. That's kind of what your offense is, just a shitload of athletes.
But what's bad about that?
Well, the reason why you're not winning games is because you don't have receivers.
So we have more athletes than we actually do with the receivers at that position.
Well, I mean, Christian McCaffrey's an athlete as well, so he's not really a running back like that either. He's more of an athlete himself. So you pretty much just got your whole offense is just a shitload of athletes, and fucking what's my boy name at tight end? What's the guy name?
What, Kittle?
Kittle, yeah, he's a tight end, the blocking tight end, but like everybody else is just athletes.
You really think he's just a blocking tight end?
No, I'm saying he's a blocking tight end. He catches passes, he does all kind of shit. I'm saying you've been just relegating the man to blocking. Like it's not
well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, and I think it's been proven when we're talking about overall who does the overall position better. I don't think anybody can make an argument that anybody is better than George Kittle.
As far as him playing the tight end, Travis Kelce.
The overall position, being able to do the receiving and the run blocking style of it, Travis Kelce is nowhere near.
Yeah, he's a way
Nowhere
better receiver
near.
than Kittle.
He is
Leaps and
definitely
bounds.
more wide receiver
Leaps
than
and
he is tight end.
no, he's a better receiver than Travis Kelce. The thing is, Travis Kelce is a better receiver than Kittle.
Yes,
Kittle
I
just
will
runs
agree with
blocks
that.
better. He just run blocks better. That's it. That's all
But
he
I'm
does.
saying
He
the
run blocks better.
overall, but just because he run blocks better doesn't
That's it.
diminish the fact, and just because Kelce is better
Again, this is the
in the
bias I'm
receiving
talking about.
aspect of the
One
game doesn't
has
mean that George Kittle's receiving aspect at that position is not elite. The
one is better
dude
than the
is
other.
fucking the king of yards after the catch at the tight end position. You can go and look at the numbers. He's even better at Kelce at that position or at that standard. The dude
Well, that's
breaks
because your
tackles. He's
quarterbacks
difficult to
can't
bring
throw the
down.
ball that
He
fucking
runs
far.
good routes. We can't sit here and act like George Kittle is a fucking slouch when it comes to the receiving aspect of the tight end.
Yeah, difference
position.
is Pat Mahomes can throw the ball 60, 75, 80 yards, and Travis Kelce can run that route that long. So most of his
Well, I was
most of
saying
his
our
yak is
offense
like,
doesn't
oh, he
run
got
that
10
well.
yards to get run in the end zone. When your quarterback is just checking down because you guys are just relegating Kittle to run blocking. So most of his routes aren't that deep in the past, 3 years? So yeah, his yak is gonna be a shitload higher. You're right. You're right. So again, in that aspect, but just like I said, the boy just blocks better than Kelce. But there's nobody in the fucking world would pick Kittle over Kelce if they had a choice. If they had a choice to pick Kittle over Kelce, ain't nobody sliding with Kittle. They're gonna recognize his talent. They're gonna recognize everything. But if your quarterback can throw the ball like Patrick Mahomes or shit, you can even go Justin fucking Herbert or Trevor Lawrence. All of them gonna take Travis Kelce over motherfucking goddamn George Kittle. Every day, any day. So yeah, okay. Like I said, I recognize Kittle. He is a tight end, just like you said. He encompasses the position in your eyes. Me, I say the man is a great he's the number 2 tight end in the league right now. So I'm not diminishing the man's talent. You see what I'm saying? Not even the slightest. The only problem is the 49ers got a team full of fucking athletes, and when it's time for them to have a receiver, because the other team actually has corners, you get your ass whooped. Just like against the Eagles, they had Darius Slay. Granted, Debo's strong as fuck, so it was a little iffy, but they had DBs on that team, and you didn't have receivers. So they beat y'all ass.
All right. And we didn't have a quarterback, but that's neither here nor there. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest with us, and he will be on the show right after this message from our friends at Rays. Uh-oh. What's up, Jaffo Army? JP here of the All-Pro Jaffos, bringing you a message from our proud partners over at Rays Energy. Rays Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high-quality formula to bring the consumer a powerful yet sustained energetic experience to help us put your workouts and focus in general to the very next level. Perfect for anyone at any time. Rays Energy has become the most popular, the best rated energy drink on the market to date, with a phenomenal flavor profile that puts most of the competitors just downright to shame. Powered by the enhanced Refresh technology, Rays Energy delivers with a performance-enhancing energy drink profile that aids in the most often overlooked categories, which include targeted focus, enhanced recovery time, as glycogen becomes depleted, improve clean energy levels, boost in stamina and in hydration. Most importantly, each can of Rays has absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. You should not have to drink or settle for any other energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, opt for the smart choice with the #1 fan-voted energy drink on the planet with Rays Energy Drink. Use the promo code ALPHARAYS at checkout to get 15% off of your order. Demand more. Join the Rays Rebellion. Let them know the JAFFOs sent you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, with Rays, go to repsports.com, reppsports.com, and use the promo code AlphaRays to get 15% off your order. Ladies and gentlemen, you already know what time it is now. We got to give it to them.
It's time!
Ladies and gentlemen, in many circles in the A7FL, he is considered the greatest QB to ever hit the field for the A7FL. Proud to have on the show none other, ladies and gentlemen, Quattro Huffing. What's up?
Sir.
How we doing, Huff?
What's going on? What's going on?
Man, appreciate you being on. It was a hell of a season. Overall, watching the entire thing as it went, how everything kind of started, especially for you, coming from the U to now leading to the Silk City Animals, from being nothing to now being in playoff contentions. Where does this season kind of stack up for you, and how did it kind of play out?
Being with the Animals, the season played out almost exactly how I planned out to be. End up going, I think, 4-2, 5-2, 5-2 on the season, and then getting eliminated in the first round to the Baltimore Watchmen. It actually turned out to be a good season and a great season. I helped an organization get over 500 in a long time. Helped them do a lot of things and win. Most importantly, win and just enjoy the love of the football in the game. Other than that, I couldn't expect nothing more than the guys. They played hard, and I loved it. It was a good season, definitely a good season. But next year, I'm going back to the goal, winning the championship. That's all. That's all it is.
I was just about, I was going to get to it, because obviously that's been the talk right now of, Vegas is now, the national champions. A lot of smack is being talked. A lot of, there's a lot of things being said. And there's a word, or I guess a phrase, that's been going around that I've seen, and I'm trying to wonder, and this is completely up to you whether you want to say it or not, but I'm hearing the term the nuclear option being spread around. Now, what it means, the nuclear option, that's being speculated by everybody of what it could possibly be. But what is the nuclear option according to Huff?
Right now the nuclear options. It's the off season, so I don't really have anything to hide. Right now on my list, I have Snow Tribe from New Jersey. I have the Animals from New Jersey. I have the U from New Jersey. BIC from New Jersey. The Renegades from New Jersey. And I also have Baltimore Watchmen from Maryland and the DC Buzz from Maryland. So right now, pretty much everybody in Tri-State, everybody in my area really want me. I really don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't have any options because I'm trying to go with the best option. Even if I have to leave my state of New Jersey, I will do that and take a drive just to win a championship and get the trophy back in my hands. Um, Obviously last year I felt like I was playing around. I did it just for the love of the game, just to prove something. But this year it's back to business, and I feel like I got to do what I got to do. Can't really tell you where I'm going right now, but all the options that I gave you, everybody is available, If I live closer to Vegas or Ohio, they'll probably be in there too. But definitely out of New Jersey and Baltimore, it's definitely
Is
gonna be a decision I gotta make.
is Florida at all an option? Because
Nah,
I know Kay would love to have you out there in Florida.
nah, I can't risk my job right now to leave and go to Florida.
Yeah, I
But
wouldn't say all that. Like, I tell him to stay where you at. Shit, ball out. I like what you did this year with the animals.
Nah, but with
Um,
Vegas winning the championship, I really appreciate them for winning the championship. By the way, I did a hell of a job. Y'all went undefeated, which is very hard to do. In any league you win, you dominated. You did what you guys had to do. I congratulate you guys. You're a hell of a team. But it's definitely even harder to go back to back. And I can tell you that from experience, even though I did it. But yeah, I am for something next year. That definitely is.
and Huck, you've been in this league for a while now. What got you into it?
Um,
What was a something about this league that really brought you in going, you know what, this is where I feel like I could actually play long term.
Honestly, after college, I went to Lackawanna College in Pennsylvania, which is a junior college. Did 2 years there. Right after college, I came home. Guys was just playing pickup football in the ordinary park, like anywhere else. And they like, yo, it's this league called Town Beef. Come play in it. And I'm like, I don't know, like, what y'all do? They said we do what we doing here. Just playing street football, tackle. And I went to a game, watched the season. Literally next year, went, signed up. I don't know. From there, it was history. It was just literally like playing street football with my guys, just organized. After that, it was all she wrote. Straight up from there. I mean, when I got in the league, I ain't win right away.
Mm.
I think I've been in the league for like 8 years. It's going on my ninth. Uh, Only got two championships. Honestly, probably been there like I got three. I have three championships. Organization has four. The U has four. I have three. Probably been to the championship like 5, 6 times, but it's never easy to win. You got to come in there with a strategy and everything. But I think the game of A7FL for me has slowed down, and I think I understand it. And right now, I feel like I'm at my peak, and all I have to do is just ride the wave and just keep working hard. Though that's it.
And so, I mean, even after all this time, you saying you're getting to your peak. For a lot of people, and hey, shout out to Big Rob, he'd probably hear that and go, like, man, if this is if we're already talking about him being the upper echelon future A7FL Hall of Famer and all that type of stuff, and you're not even at the peak yet, I mean that should scare a lot of people. But I'm looking at it this way now, and I told Big Rob this before, and hopefully you have something for it. But I told them with the growth of the league, there's going to come a point in time where the New Jersey area is going to have to get out of being too complacent of, oh, we've been here too long to, really worry about it, because then it's going to get left behind. Is that the feeling now with the Insomniacs taking a championship, New Jersey not being represented in the championship? Is there that talk now in New Jersey about, okay, you know what, it's time to stop, fucking around and really try and hucker down and bring this thing back home?
No, that's not the talk yet. That's not the talk yet. I'm gonna say it's not the talk yet because this is only the first time it has happened. Me being a fan and an actual player, I have been watching league. It's not the talk yet, but if you really think about it and you break it down, the Insomniacs was gonna make it to the championship automatically because we've been in this league so long and we seen how they was playing, we seen what the scores was, and we like, whoa, So they was gonna go to the championship automatically. It's just who was they gonna meet in the championship. It just so happened they met Florida in the championship. So that was the first time Florida been in the championship. Now it's not about New Jersey. It's about Florida and it's about Vegas. And that was good for the league because the exposure was crazy. They had a
Mhm.
nice crowd. It was a great game. It was a great game. They
Yeah.
both had a lead at one point. Sonia's came back and won it. But New Jersey is not on the edge of being nervous
Mm.
because I'm gonna say I think the last season this season I just passed with the Insomniacs, I'm gonna say everybody experimented, being that it was more states in it.
Mm.
Now that people have seen the trophy, not in New Jersey, now I think everybody is back to okay, no, we're gonna go back to business. We're gonna do back to what we was doing. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. So now that scared a lot of people. And the free agency is crazy. Oh my God. If y'all was on some of the pages, oh man, they already starting. Usually they'll wait
And
till after Christmas, come around January. No, it's the page is not quiet. Everybody's hungry. And it's
and
crazy. It's just so crazy. And I'm so
and
happy the
this
Insomniacs won. They opened up the league. They opened up the league.
the whole thing did really, because with like you said, the exposure and stuff that came with everything. Now you're saying the free agent talks and stuff, because I've seen the boards too. There's so much stuff happening. Did you, from when you first got into this league, was this ever something that you guys thought would ever come to fruition? Being on TV, getting, expanding the league across the country, like it had to have been. We're just playing with our boys to then, oh man, this kind of turned into something without us even really realizing it. Or is
Nah,
this like what you guys were thinking the entire time?
nah, nobody never thought of it about it. Honestly, it's just Ryan DePaul. Just recording, putting it on YouTube before social media ever exploded, and then this what happened. This it's just like life. Like you grow up, you're a teenager, and now you're a grown up. Now you like what I'm gonna do as my career, and then that be a career. It just happened. Now it's you either gotta still want to play football and show your talents off to the world or just be a fan. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's not even called Town Beef no more. That's what it was called. It was
Yeah,
called Town Beef. So everybody from their own city made a team, and then we just made a league and we all play. It was just a trophy. It wasn't no money. Now it's called A7FL. It's a state now. It don't even matter if you're from this city because you can play with anybody now. It's a state. So now it's like wow, it's bigger than just coming out playing football on Sunday. Now we playing for something. Now we playing to be ranked. Now we playing to be the national champions. Now we got to hold our title. Like it's crazy. Now you're a national champion. You're a
yeah.
national champion. That's crazy.
And that's what I was kind of thinking about it going for these last few years, especially with us being, a part of it in some way, shape, or form the last 2 years. From what we've seen from the history lessons and stuff that we've gotten from guys like Matt Ryan and David Isaacs and Big Rob and Corey Hammond, and just guys who have played in the league, been around the league since the beginning and stuff like that, seeing where it was to where it is now. Like honestly, I feel every single person who's been a part of the league, especially guys like you who have been in the league for a long period of time, that this should be something that you guys are absolutely like, oh, this is my baby. Like I'm so proud of this. Like this, because you guys should be, from where it was to where it is. You guys developed something insane. Like this is insane. Dude, some of the film I keep telling people, the first film that we saw was that trailer that kept going around of some dude getting decleated on a crackback block. Like, it was something that it was new, it was different, and it's exciting football. That's the thing that's a little bit different in other sports too. When you're looking at the NFL, you expect a certain thing, yeah. But then people have these expectations for XFL and USFL and all these unrealistic standards and stuff. But the games that you guys put on, like it's edge of your seat. I mean, some of them are just blowouts. Like, wow, this is getting shown on TV for everyone and their mama to see. Like that's embarrassing for them. But then there's these other games that you look at it and you can compare it to even professional games. Going, yeah, even this one was this championship game that we just had. You know, the game that the last year's championship that you were a part of. You know, after that, we were thinking, shit, that was the greatest game of all time. And it just grows and grows and grows. So now you're at a point where you said you're going into your 9th season. It's the 10th year of the A7FL. All business, as you've said. Is the idea of being on super teams and stuff now the norm, or is it kind of you don't really need super teams in order to be successful, or is that something we're looking at now going, especially with the emergence of what's coming out of the West, wanting to stay ahead of the game? Do you think that's something that's going to be a necessity?
No, I don't. I don't think it is because honestly, like people go watch it and be like, I can play it, but once you get on the field, A7 is not as easy as you think it is because it's only 7 people and it's the 7 best athletes. You don't actually have real linemen sometimes. Sometimes it might just be all 7 skills.
Mm.
And then the game speed is so different because the quarterback already has the ball in his hand. So once you say go, everybody's already like in action. And if you don't know what you're doing, it's really a one-on-one game if you break the whole game down. So if you get beat, you're done. The whole play might crumble in like literally that 1 point second. Every time, if the corner get beat every time one-on-one, that's a touchdown in like 2 seconds. You throw the ball up, touchdown. He run it down, celebrate. Like that's embarrassing. Like the game is really different. In order for you to understand the game, you have to play it, and then once you play it, you have to manifest it and master it. Like I feel like it's hard. I feel like it's hard, but once you get in the league long enough, you'll be okay. You'll break it down. But the only thing that's gonna make a person good in this league is if you play with a good team. And the Insomniacs had a good team overall. Everybody was good talent. Can't come out there with people that's not good talent. They're not gonna have a good team. Insomniacs all around was built all around. They had good talent. People already played the position. They knew what they had to do. They guys knew football. They knew football. So they had an overall good team.
Mm.
Trust me, if people think the A7 NFL easy, sign up, get a team, see us.
Do you think if and this is obviously this is past, then a champion has already been crowned. But do you think the Insomniacs would have had a harder time with one of the New Jersey teams, say either, the U or BIC or the Animals, than they did with Florida?
Yeah, they would have had a harder time. More physical. Florida wasn't physical. They was playing flag football. We play flag football over here. Y'all play flag football over there. They was playing a lot of flag football. And when the Insomniacs ran the ball, they wasn't physical. They wasn't physical. They wasn't physical at all. That wasn't A7FL football. That was A7FL football, but it wasn't physical A7FL football. That
Hmm.
was that was a high scoring game for a championship game. That was high.
It's not normal. I mean, obviously we know that it doesn't normally get that way. It's usually
Yeah,
more of a like defensive stand and
yeah, it's the
you know.
last game. You got to give it more defense. They was not physical. I mean, but they playing style played to the high scoring game, so you can't really say, you feel me? That's just an A7F game for you. That's an A7FL game for you. But a New Jersey team would have definitely stuck it in a little bit more, gave a little bit more comp. But the Crawlers did what they did. They wasn't down, they was up. Soniacs came back. You can't blame, yo, they the champions for a reason, man. I don't give no excuses, man. They did what they had to do. They did what they had to do. Whether it was Baltimore, New Jersey, Maryland, Ohio, it don't matter where it was. The Soniacs was gonna beat them, as you seen. They were undefeated.
I mean, and that's high praise. And so now for you, is there, obviously with all the talk that's going around, is there a specific message that you have for the league going into the 10th season? Obviously, like you've said, it's business. You're wanting to, I mean, last year was just to prove a point, which I think you more than did. So now what's the message for the rest of the league?
The message for the rest of the league. I put a smile on my face when I said that too, because it's funny. Just be ready.
That's all that needs to be said. Just be ready. Ladies and gentlemen, he is again widely considered by a lot of his peers, not just people who watch, by a lot of his peers as one of the greatest, if not the greatest quarterback to ever lace him up in the A7FL. He is looking to absolutely, from the words that have been spoken, a fire is going to be set in the A7FL, and I can't wait to watch it. Appreciate you, Huff, for giving some time. Honestly, man, it was really an honor to have you on. And like we've told anybody else, you feel like you got something to say, you want to come on the show and talk whatever, by all means, doors always open, my friend.
Appreciate it, fellas. Pleasure being on your show. Appreciate y'all so much.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen, Quattro Huffin. Thank you, Huff. So now, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into our next segment, we've got to bring you our ad from one of our newest partners, from our people over at Bud Love. Check it out.
What if I told you that Bud gets better? Introducing Bud Love, the long-awaited herbal blend that's designed to be mixed with your favorite bud and enjoyed together, like the mixer in a cocktail. Bud Love is made from marshmallow leaf, an ancient medicinal herb, the mother cannabinoid, CBG, and rich natural flavors, including terpenes. Offering a wide variety of premium Herbal Plus mixers to complement your favorite strains. Why? Because every bud needs some love. Our carefully formulated blends improve your experience, complementing your favorite flower and bringing out its best qualities. Many bud lovers even report that it helps reduce unwanted side effects like worry, and instead creates a happy, zen feeling. Bud Love contains no cannabis or nicotine. It won't give you a buzz on its own, but when consumed together, it reduces the amount of bud needed to get the feeling you love, allowing your precious flower to last even longer. Bud Love is best enjoyed with your first bud of the day, carefully paired with your favorite strain. Choose from a variety of delicious flavors, ranging from classic to more fruity to natural, as well as tobacco flavored for those who enjoy a spliff. Mix Bud Love and flower in whatever amounts work best for you for a perfect buzz. Whether you're chilling with friends, attending a social event, or going for a hike, experiment and find your own love ratio. Bud Love's unique blends allow you to craft a happier, smoother, and more personalized experience. If you love Bud, then Bud Love is for you. Try it today and help us tell the world that Bud does in fact get better with Bud Love.
Yeah, appreciate our friends over at Bud Love. When you go to Bud Love, use the promo code JAFFO Army to get 15% off of your first order. Once again, appreciate Huff for being on the show. I love the short answer. Didn't get into any of the message to the league was just be ready, and that's all it needed to be had. So, again, it's going to be an exciting season. It being the 10th of the A7FL. So be on the lookout, ladies and gentlemen. He is who he says he is, and he is who a lot of people say he is. He's one of the guys that, if I'm not mistaken, he was one of the first players that you were introduced to, Kay? You got started watching the BIC, but then one of the first players that you got introduced to was Huff, right?
No,
Oh no.
no, not at all.
Which
It
is the one
was
that you were?
Ashanti Worthy.
Got it.
Yeah,
Got it. That's on me. That's on me. You could have just went with it, man. Fuck. No, but but yeah, appreciate Huff for being on. One of the biggest stories that's going around in the world of sports, um Michael Orr. A lot of you may know him from the story in the movie The Blind Side. That was essentially a biopic about his life leading into the NFL. Um, According to Michael Orr, um, a lot of it was a lie. That the Tui family um, made him sign a conservatorship, and from the initial report saying that basically they made it seem like they adopted him, but it was actually a conservatorship for them to like make money off of him, his name, image, and likeness, and everything else like that. But the Tui family and stuff has come out and uh are saying that Michael Orr is basically this is a $15 million shakedown, that none of this is at all true. They said that they really even didn't make any money off the movie. Let's see, says right here, anyone, and this is from let's see, this is the singer. This might be the I think this is the lawyer. Yeah. Martin Singer, the attorney for the Tui family, said anyone with a medic modicum, modicum, anybody with a modicum of common sense, which I don't know what modicum means, so that's on me, I guess, can see that the outlandish claims made by Michael Orr about the Tui family are hurtful and absurd. The idea that the Tuies have ever sought to profit off of Mr. Orr is not only offensive, it's transparently ridiculous. Though hard work and good fortune, Sean and Leanne have made an extraordinary amount of money in the restaurant business. The notion that a couple worth hundreds of millions of dollars would connive to withhold a few $1,000s in profit participation payments from anyone, let alone from someone that they loved as a son. Um, Okay, when you first saw this, what was your initial thoughts?
kind of figured this shit in 2009.
What happened in 2009 to make you think?
I mean, the movie came out in 2009. As soon as I saw the shit, kind of knew what the situation really was. So all of that stuff that they were doing for the guy, or whatever the case may have been, was a down payment in some form or fashion.
Hmm.
So they got their money back when the movie came out.
Yeah, but they didn't make that was the thing. They didn't make any money
That's what
off the
that's
movie.
what they that's what they say.
Family. Uh Daily.
And
Okay,
modicum
hold on.
means it's a small amount.
They insisted that any money received be divided equally, and they have made good on that pledge. The evidence documented in a profit participation checks and studio accounting statements is clear. Over the years, the Tuohys have given Mr. Orr an equal cut of every penny received from The Blind Side. Half of his share, and everybody in the family got an equal share, including Michael, which is about $14,000 each. Um,
Honestly.
and I mean, to be fair, this isn't some. I mean, the whole idea about the whole situation being a lie, about the adoption and all that other kind of stuff being a lie, that's still kind of new. But it's not new information that Michael Orr wasn't necessarily a fan of the movie to begin with, because there were certain aspects of the movie that made him seem like, he was dumber than what he was, or that he didn't know about football before he got into high school or anything else, like that. That wasn't the case. Um, so obviously there were things that were made a little bit more dramatic. Um, and usually people who have biopics and stuff made after them, it's not really out of the ordinary that you see them not like the movie, because it paints them in a particular, light or whatever that they didn't necessarily agree with or whatnot. But with this is one of those things that it's kind of like, how, like, it's so a conservatorship, for people who don't know, that's that whole shit that Britney Spears was going with her, family or her dad and stuff like that. Um, uh, her not getting the money that she deserved and all that other kind of stuff. And it allows that person who's basically holding the conservatorship to make money off your name, image and likeness and stuff like that. So, um, this is essentially what Michael Orr is saying, that they, when they signed the adoption papers, that they said that's what it was, but he was actually signing over a conservatorship. Now, some people are calling for Sandra Bullock to give up her Oscar because of this. I think that's a little over the top. Um I mean,
That's
Sandra
dumb
Bullock,
as fuck.
that's what I'm saying. She was just
That's
playing a
just
part that she was given.
it's dumb as fuck. That
And
shit is just dumb. Like, I don't know why. Like, shit like that shouldn't even be entertained.
it's like, everything that goes into, so it really does make me wonder, because I don't want to go out and say, like, oh yeah, they took advantage of him and everything. I don't know if that's really what they did. I don't know if Michael Orr, given that he didn't like the movie, it did portray him in a certain light. He has said certain things about it that, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. This is one of those things that a lot of people are going to keep an eye on, because it's a $15 million lawsuit. Um, it's like, there's not a lot about this that's actually helping Michael Orr, though. There's written documents. There's, like, all of that, especially when it came to, the dividing of the money. They have all of those documents. So, I mean, what is it that he actually has to go on to make this type of, I don't see, I don't understand it, dude. I really don't. I don't get how, let's see, been that the Tuohys have always been upfront about how a conservatorship from which not one penny was received, was established to assist with Mr. Orr's needs, ranging from getting him health insurance and obtaining a driver's license to help him with college admission. Should Mr. Orr wish to terminate the conservatorship either now or at any time in the future, the Tuohys will never oppose it in any way. Uh, or attempted to run this place several times before, alleging that numerous lawyers stopped representing him once they saw the evidence and learned the truth. Sadly, Mr. Orr is finally found in it. So this isn't the first time he's tried to do this. It's just other lawyers are telling him like there's nothing here to support it. And it says, sadly, Mr. Orr has finally found a willing enabler and filed this ludicrous lawsuit as a cynical attempt to drum up attention in the middle of his latest book tour. Ah, interesting. I don't know. Okay, what are you thinking right now?
Honestly, I really don't give a shit. But as far as the story goes, I don't know. I mean, they could be good and he could be doing this for publicity, but he been trying to do this shit for so long already. I mean, he been waiting on somebody to give a shit about it before he drop his book? Is that what they saying? Like he just been holding the book the whole time? He don't try all them times and then he just gonna do it when the book come out? No, I don't think that was the case. I think this is just circumstance that the book's coming out right now and somebody picked it up with him. I mean, it could be one or two things. These people telling the truth and he tripping, or they cook the books, which millionaires have known to cook the books. So we got options.
Hmm. Interesting. Well, I mean, it's gonna be an interesting thing no matter what, as things get going more and more, because we might be looking at defamation suits and all that other kind of. So this is something that's definitely going to be talked about for a little while. But again, it is something that I don't know. There's something that doesn't sit right with me on this. Like when it came down or when it first came out, I was like, hold on. Like, because at first I was like, damn, it was all a lie. Like, man, that fucking sucks. Like, that was a good movie. Like that. I mean, if that all of it was obviously, there were things like I said that were dramatized and stuff, but outright lie. But then you start like looking into everything and all the evidence and stuff that's been put out and the information that's been shared. Uh, I don't know, man. I I don't know. I really don't. Because it wouldn't put it past me for somebody to take advantage of somebody that they know could make them a buck later on. It's not the first time that's ever happened to somebody before. So again, that's not, out of the realm of possibility. But in this situation, I mean, again, there was a movie made about it. He did red carpet runs. He did, interviews and all that kind of stuff. It's so. I mean, yeah. Again, he showed certain distastes and stuff for the movie, but at the end of the day, he wasn't outright saying That's not how any of this stuff happened. They didn't adopt me. They didn't do this. They did, you know, when he got drafted, he had them on the stage with him, and you know, it's just there's some things that just don't really add up in the story. So I mean, again, this is something that's going to be, you know, going around for a little while, and it might not. It might just fall dead in its tracks.
You could have found that information later on in life.
That's also true. Certain things weren't in light back then. You know, the social media and stuff like that wasn't as prevalent as it is today. So that's very, very true. That could have happened. Again, there's a lot of shit that's what ifs. There's holes in stories. There's all of this kind of stuff. But I mean, we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. This story is pretty interesting in my opinion. But we'll see what goes down there. In the NBA news, Hall of Fame class of 2023 are now in, and I got the list right here. Gene Bess, Gary Blair, Pau Gasol, Becky Hammond, David Hickson, Gene Keady, Dirk Nowitzki, Tony Parker, Greg Popovich, and as a player, not as a coach, as a player, Jill Valvano, Dwayne Wade, Flash, former Miami Heat, and the 1976 U.S. Women's Olympic team made it too. So, like the players, that it's Dirk, Parker, Gasol, Wade, Becky Hammond, and Popovich. So Popovich might be, you know, a two-time Hall of Famer when it's all said and done because he's going to be in the Hall of Fame for his coaching career. And I think that's just again a matter of time. But with this list, it's a pretty good list. Pau Gasol, really good. Becky Hammond, one of the all-time greats in women's basketball. Dirk Nowitzki, obviously one of the all-time greats. Tony Parker, and I mean D Wade. I mean, at least for you, you knew that was coming eventually. But overall, there's not really anything about this list that makes me go, I don't think they should have made it. You know, that basketball seems to have a pretty good list of Hall of Famers, you know, every year going in. But any thoughts on the class of 2023? Country K.
No, not really.
Not really. So let's see, and then the Gene Bess, Gary Blair, Hickson, Keady, Valvano, those were all coaching. And then again, the 76 Olympic women's team. So, you know, congratulations to all of them on making the Basketball Hall of Fame, the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, to be exact, not the NBA specifically. But definitely well deserved for everybody involved. So, good for them. Congratulations. And we'll see what happens with the Hall of Fame class next year. Before we get off, ladies and gentlemen, we had a featured artist of the day. Unfortunately, we did not have Matt Six on the show to be able to bring it in. But our featured artist on this episode of the All Pro JAFFOs, where again we bring you the highly elevated sports talk for the highly elevated sports fan. We've got Canada, Kaanada, with Back to the Beach. Now, YouTube and everything, we've got the expressed written consent by all parties involved in order to be able to show this on the platform. So we are not subject to any copyright infringement nor strikes on YouTube or any other platform. So, with that being said, everybody enjoy our featured artist of this episode, Canada, with Back to the Beach.
Since a young age, they tell me to be patient, patient. Since a young age, they tell me to be patient, patient. But I'm getting pretty tired of waiting. Been chewing on my nails, so much stress. Feeling like, man, I ain't doing my best. If I ain't working 25/8, man, need a new date for this to set for the album release. I can't wait, no. But see what's at stake, I just wanna kick back and eat some cake, no. I gotta put in the work today, I can't turn it down and be late to the scene. I need you, I don't know what I'm gonna do if you don't believe in me. Like I believe in you. And I know the truth. Yeah, we be kicking it on the West Coast, and it might not be the best thought. Gas price high, I feel I got my mind up in the sky. I feel like we need to grow. I don't really know what kind of place there's to go. Let's vacation down the road, yo. This ain't the sunny California that we used to know. I've been going every single dirt damn road, yeah. See, never re-abandoned building, feeling like this ain't the same old feeling. Came down like what the hell, I thought this was gonna be glitz glam, oh well. But now I'm sitting there, almost ended in a cell when I was younger, but then I turned life around. Oh, hell is what I've been through and what I did do. You can't seem to fuck with me, but did you not get my last message? In it I told you I learned all my lessons. I haven't been the best, man, I will confess, but every other rapper's trying to get this off their chest. Is this about love? Is this about a test that I really wanna pass in this life? Oh yes, that's what she's screaming, feeling I'm dreaming. Yeah, I'm on that ninth cloud and I need to scheme a little bit more. Instead of being so polite, sitting here saying yes, sorry, I'm alright. I can kick it with a harder heart than you've seen, but I like being a bit of a softie. Have you really gotten to know me? My coffee, I like it black because it's bitter to me. Bittersweet's what I like to keep my life. That's just what I'm used to, cause I'm used to getting fights all around, feeling like I can't even end up running this town. Wanted to test me on this dude, I can fuck it up better than Bieber.
Oh, well, appreciate Canada and everything being on the show. Looks like K got disconnected from us and stuff. Appreciate everybody for hanging out with us on this Wednesday afternoon. We will see you guys once again on Friday. Got a lot of stuff coming up soon. Appreciate you guys for hanging out. Appreciate Quattro Huffin for stopping by and hanging out with us and giving us a little bit of a conversation. So we will see you guys next time. For myself, JP, for 610 Beats from the Southeast, Mr. Country K. We will see you guys all